Good morning, everyone. Get all my cameras adjusted. My name is Lindsay, and I will be leading you through two yoga flows this morning. Are going to get started with a 45-minute Vinyasa flow, and then we will do a 45-minute Yin yoga class. So let me just fix the cameras, and I'm going to hop on my mat, and we will get started. If you have a couple blocks, you might want to grab those if you use blocks to practice. Otherwise, all you need is a mat, and you can even really practice without a mat if you don't have one, but we will get started in just a moment. Let me just adjust this, make sure everyone can see. All right, so let's get started. So we are going to come to our backs on our mat. So any comfortable position. And again, my name is Lindsay Silbert, and we will be doing a 45-minute Vinyasa flow and then a 45-minute Yin yoga class. So come to any position that's comfortable. You can say hi to my cat as she walks by. I'm just going to extend my legs out, let my feet flap open, arms by the sides. If this works for you, great. Otherwise, you can bend the knees, let the knees knock in towards each other, or even bring the soles of the feet together. So whatever position you come into, begin to close the eyes and just feel the body rest down on the mat beneath you. Take a couple breaths here as you begin to turn the attention inward. Noticing all the sensations in the body. And allow everything to soften and relax. And then bring the awareness to the breathing. Without changing the breath or judging, just notice. Notice how the breath feels as you draw it in. Notice how it feels as you release it out. Begin to deepen and lengthen the breath out. Coming into your Ujjayi pranayama if you practice that. Otherwise, just inhales and exhales through the nostrils. And if you would like to, you can take a moment here to set your intention for this morning's practice, which is a nice way to connect in and make the practice a little bit more personal. And we'll be here for 3 more cycles of breath. After your next inhale, we'll gently blink the eyes open and we'll slowly hug the knees in towards the chest. Reach around, grab onto the shins or the knees and rock yourself a little side to side. If it feels good, you can circle the knees in one direction and circle the knees in the other direction. And then we'll keep the right knee hugged in and either plant the left foot down on the mat or extend that left leg out. Take a couple breaths here as you relax the shoulders, soften the jaw. And throughout this morning's practice, please take any modifications that are appropriate for your body. I'll give several options, so do what feels good. Because this is a shorter class, we will flow pretty quick into it. And now let's switch sides with the legs. So left knee in, right leg extends out. So again, you can straighten that right leg and point the right toes up or keep the knee bent. A little bit less intense with the knee bent. Take a few breaths here. And again, just modify as you see fit. Do what feels good, and you can rest whenever you need. Take one more full cycle of breath. Good, and then hug both knees in. We'll begin to get into the core a little bit. So place the hands by the sides and begin to extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Now my hamstrings are a little tight this morning, so I'm going to keep the knees bent. You can keep the knees bent the entire, you can bend it to a 90-degree angle if you want, or work those legs straight. Now as you're here, gently press the lower back down into the mat. If this bothers the lower back, you can slide the hands under the hips. We're going to do some leg drops. So we'll take an inhale. As you exhale, let the right leg come down to hover. And then you'll slowly bring it up and exhale, left leg down. So just moving a little side to side here. warming up the core, warming up the legs a little bit. Again, keep those knees bent however much you need, and keep the head, neck, and shoulders relaxing down. So make sure those shoulders aren't creeping up towards the ears. We'll do a couple more on each side. Again, just warming the body up. All right, last time on the left here. All right, both legs up, hug the knees in for a moment, release. And then we'll reach the legs back up again, bent or straight legs. We'll do double leg drops now. So take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the legs about a third of the way down. Pause here, press the lower back down. Take an inhale, exhale another third of the way down. Pause, breathe in, exhale, lower to hover. Pause here, squeeze the legs together, and then bring them all the way back up. We'll do that 2 more times. Take an inhale, exhale, third of the way down. Pause here. Inhale, exhale, another third. Pause, squeeze those legs together, and then we'll drop those legs to hover. Good, and then squeeze them up. All right, last time. Take an inhale. Exhale, third of the way down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Firm that belly. Bring them down another third. Pause here. Good. Bring them down to hover. And this time we'll just kick the legs. We'll flutter kick for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back up. Pause for a moment. Good. And then hug those knees in. Release the back. Rock yourself side to side. And we're going to come up to tabletop. So you can either roll yourself off to one side or maybe give the spine a little massage by rocking back and forth. But if this bothers you, just roll yourself off to one side. And then we'll come on up, cross the shins, roll over the legs, and come onto hands and knees. All right, so making our way into tabletop to warm the spine up with some cat-cow. Spread the fingers out, stack the wrists under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the tail. As you exhale, round the spine, pull the belly in, and release the chin towards the chest. As you inhale, wheel the heart forward, open the heart. As you exhale, press the floor away, glance back, firm the belly in and up. A couple more here. Inhale, tilt the sitting bones up, lift the heart. Exhale, round the spine. Let's do one more. Inhale to arch the back. Open up into your cow pose. And then as you exhale, round in. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. Firm the belly strongly, tuck the right toes, send the right leg back, and then lift from the inner thigh. Now, drop the outer right hip down. So glance back. Make sure all 5 toes on the right foot point straight down towards the mat. You can stay here with both hands down or extend the left arm forward, thumb facing in, thumb facing up, palm facing in. But soften that shoulder and take 3 breaths here. Now make sure you're not dipping into the lower back. So firm the belly and press the bottom ribs up, bottom back ribs up towards the ceiling. Last breath here, imagine like you're being pulled in opposite directions. All right, switching sides, left hand down, right knee down, and then we'll curl the left toes, send the left leg back, lift from the inner thigh. So again, glance back, do a little check, make sure all 5 left toes point straight down towards the mat, and then right arm can extend forward, or you can work with both hands down. Now, if this is too much to lift that foot all the way up, you can just let it hover, and we'll breathe here. Again, imagine like I'm pulling your right hand in one direction, and I'm pulling your left ankle back in the opposite direction. Couple more breaths. Belly strong. Neck is long here, so your gaze is down. Excellent. And then bring the hand and the knee down. We'll walk the hands one handprint forward, and we'll either make our way into child's pose, or you'll make your way into your first downward dog. So again, we're kind of jumping right into it because it is a shorter class. So if you're coming into down dog, begin to lift the hips, and we'll pedal the legs out, bending one knee as we straighten through the opposite leg. So move yourself a little side to side here. And something I like to do, especially in the morning if I'm feeling a little tight, is I'll take a wider down dog. So I'll walk my feet to the edges of the mat, maybe even walk my hands to the edges of the mat as well. You can come into this wide down dog or just a traditional down dog, or you're in child's pose. If you're in child's pose, hips towards the heels and extend the fingertips forward to activate the arms. Wherever you are, we'll take 3 more breaths. So either finding gentle movement or finding stillness. Maybe even close the eyes and just notice how the body feels in space. Last breath, wherever you are, relax the neck. And then we'll walk the feet to the hands. So gently gaze forward and slowly walk the feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Parallel the feet. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins or thighs, lengthen flat back. As you exhale, fold here. Let the head go. Maybe grab opposite elbows or maybe interlace the fingers at the nape of the neck. And just take a few breaths. You can rest the belly on the thighs if that feels good. Generous bend in the knees. One more breath here. And then release the hands. We'll slowly roll up to stand, finding our Tadasana, our mountain pose at the top of the mat. Bring the shoulders up to the ears, release them down the back, and we'll come into our mountain pose. So feet are either hips distance together, or you can bring big toes to touch. Spread the toes, press evenly through all 4 corners of the feet. Firm the thighs by pulling up on the kneecaps. Lengthen the tailbone down, hug the belly in and up. Relax the shoulders, draw them through the collarbones, chin parallel to the floor. Take a full cycle of breath here, big breath in. Exhale to release. We'll go through some sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms out, around and up. As you exhale, slight bend in the knees, hinge forward, come all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step back to plank pose. Knees up or down. Inhale, shift the shoulders 1 inch forward. Exhale, slowly lower to the belly. Hug the elbows into the side ribs. Untuck the toes. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. We'll take 3 breaths. If you're in down dog, glance back at the feet. Make sure outer edges are parallel. Make sure heels are hidden right behind those second toes. Last breath wherever you are. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, step walk, float the feet to the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise on your inhale, down to reach up. Exhale, connect the palms at the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, find length. Exhale, step or maybe float back into chaturanga or come to plank pose and lower down into cobra or whatever works for your body. And then we'll pull it back to down dog or child. So lots of options for your vinyasa. You can even hold plank the whole time if you would like. You can keep the knees down and lower that way. Whatever works best for your body. But let's rest in down dog for another breath or 2. And if down dog doesn't work, again, rest in child's pose. Press the floor away, firm the belly. And then next, inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise, inhale. Exhale, palms to the heart. All right, last cycle. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, slide the hands up, pull the heart forward. Exhale, plank pose, and either move through your vinyasa or skip it all together, or again, option to hold plank pose. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Breathing here. Finding lots of space around the neck. Spinning the biceps forward, triceps wrap back. One more full cycle. Inhale, gaze forward, slight bend in the knees. Exhale, step walk, float the feet to the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root down to rise up. And then palms connect in front of the heart. Pause here for a moment. Just notice how the body feels after a couple sun salutations. Maybe feel the energy moving. Possibly feel some heat building. And then we'll blink the eyes open, arms by the sides. Let's take a full cycle. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, sink the hips. We'll pause here for a couple breaths. Get the weight into the heels. Lift those toes up. You can always bring palms together in front of the heart. Soften the shoulders. Take another breath. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Straighten the legs, belly to thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way back to down dog however you would like. Step back to plank pose and move through a vinyasa or skip it all together. Exhale, send it back. Next inhale, lift the right leg up and back from the inner thigh. As you exhale, step it up by the right hand for warrior one. Left foot spins flat. Come on up. We'll pause here for a couple breaths. Now pull this right hip back, send the left hip forward. Make sure both hip points are square to the front of the mat. Soften the shoulders. Gaze up. Ground through the outer edge of that left foot. So really all four corners of both feet press down here. One more breath, lift up out of it. And then we'll lower the hands down, step back to plank pose, and either take a vinyasa or skip it. Just listen to the body. All right, once you get back to down dog or child's pose, we'll do the left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it up by the left hand. Back foot spins flat, and then we'll come all the way up. All right, so adjust your stance. Rotate the right hip forward this time, pull the left hip back. Sink down into it, but as you sink down into it, keep that lift up out of it. Spread the toes, plant the feet down, firm the belly. You can also bring palms together in front of the heart. Good, take one more breath here. And then lower the hands down and again, step back and either take a vinyasa or go right to down dog or right to child's pose. And we'll take a few breaths wherever you are. Reconnect with your breathing and reconnect with your intention. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. All right, feet to the hands. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, walk, or float those feet up. We'll move through that a little quicker this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, press to stand. All right, breath with movement. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Move at your own pace, though. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Again, or skip that chaturanga altogether. Just building some heat. All right, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it up by the right hand. Left foot spins flat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, ride the breath down, maybe even through chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, send it back. Left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step. Right foot flat. Come all the way up, warrior one. And then all the way down on the exhale. Again, chaturanga or hold plank or right back to down dog or child's pose. And then we breathe. Push up out of the shoulders. Relax the neck. And keep that belly firming in and up. One more breath here. All right, next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. And if it feels good, you can bend the knee and open the hip here. Press evenly through arms and shoulders. Maybe take some knee circles. It's really hip circles, but you'll circle the knee, pointing up towards the ceiling, and then circle in the other direction. All right, square the hips, straighten the right leg. Take an inhale as you reach that right heel back. As you exhale, pull it in towards the belly. And then we'll step the right foot up for crescent pose. So we're staying on the back toes. I always like to start with hands on the hips, bending the back knee to tilt the pelvis, firming the belly, and then straightening through that leg. Maybe adding the arms or possibly keeping the arms together in front of the heart. We'll take a few breaths here. Same thing in Warrior One. We want both hips square to the front of the room. So right hip back, left hip rotates forward. If your balance is a little off, you can always widen your stance. Soften the shoulders. One more breath. All right, Warrior Two. Spin that left foot flat. Heel toe the right foot over a little bit so you're aligned right heel to back inner arch, and then sink down into it. Spread the arms. Draw the right knee open to the pinky toe side of that foot. Gaze over the right fingertips and rotate the left rib cage back a little bit. Feel the feet. One more breath here. Inhale, reverse. Bend into the front knee for the exhale. And then we'll straighten the right leg, reverse triangle pose. Stay here for the exhale. Good, and then we'll come up for triangle pose. So I like a block. You can also walk your feet in a little bit. I like my feet wide for triangle pose, but again, do what feels best for your body. Arms out to a T from this right hip crease. Inhale, shift forward, and then right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. And then once again, bring the awareness to the feet. Make sure all four corners of both feet are pressing down. So really press into the big toe mound on the right foot. Feel the outside of that left foot. Hug the right hip into the midline of the body and lengthen through all four corners of the waist. All right, if you want to go for it, we can step into half moon for a couple breaths. I've been really liking half moon. Otherwise, just stay in triangle pose. Use a block, or you can even use a water bottle. Right hand comes about a foot in front of the right foot, and you'll lift the left leg up, flex the left ankle, and then maybe reach the left arm up. Wherever you are, 3 breaths. Last one here. Slowly and gracefully as possible, step back to Warrior Two. Bend the front knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down, come up on the back toes. We're going to pause here in our lunge. Taking a twist to the right, left hand plants, right arm reaches up to the side. You can also set this left knee down if you would like. You can also grab a block or anything else to place the left hand on. Now stamp the inner arch of that right foot down, open up into the upper back. Now options, you can work here, or we're going to transition from here into side plank. So we're going to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, come onto the left hand, and we're going to step the right foot back, either to stack, to stagger, or set that right leg down, or excuse me, left knee down. And then push out of the left shoulder, lift the hips, maybe add the top arm over the top ear. Breathe here, one more breath. All right, plank pose, either vinyasa or right back to down dog or child's pose. All right, one more breath here. Inhale, lift the left leg from the inner thigh. As you exhale, option to bend the knee, open the hip. And then again, maybe make those circles, circling the knee a couple times in each direction. Circling the knee to get into the hip. Make some circles in the opposite direction here. All right, straighten the left leg, square the hips, take an inhale, really drive that heel back, and then slowly bring it up, and we'll step it up by the left hand, coming up into crescent pose, high lunge. So hands to the hips, back knee bends, pelvis forward, belly firm, and then straighten through that right leg. Maybe add the arms or palms together in front of the heart. Square off the hips. And breathe here, lifting the heart up. And then we'll make our way into warrior two. So we'll spin the right foot flat, heel toe the left foot over a little bit. Open the arms and sink down, softening through the shoulders, softening through the face and the jaw, firming the arms, firming the legs, firming the belly. Couple breaths here. Reverse warrior, inhale. Stay for the exhale, bend into that left knee, and then straighten the left leg, big breath in. Stay again for the exhale. Come on up, we'll grab a block. If you would like one for triangle pose or any other prop that helps you get into it, arms to a T, inhale forward, exhale left hand down, right arm reaches up. And again, on this side, feel the feet. Feel the length of the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. Left hip hugs in. Lengthening through the left side of the body almost as much as the right side of the body. All right, options. You can stay in your triangle pose, or if you want to come on up to half moon, you'll take the block or your hand about a foot in front on the pinky toe side. Lift that right leg up, right hand to the hip, or maybe extend that right arm, flex the right ankle, and drive through that heel. Squeeze the left hip in. Long line of energy from the crown of the head through that right foot. Lean back like you're leaning against a wall behind you. Take 2 more breaths. And then as gently and as gracefully as possible, bend the left knee. Come back into warrior two. Set it up, realign the feet if you need. Take an inhale. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down, come up on the right toes. And we'll take our twist over to the left. Right hand down, left arm reaches up to the sky. Again, left inner arch plants down, press out of the right shoulder, and rotate into the upper back. 1 more breath here. All right, option to stay, or we'll spin onto the outer edge of the right foot, come onto the right hand, and we'll step back into side plank. Again, you can stagger the feet, you can stack them, you can place the right knee down, any variation you like. Breathing here, top hip forward, head back, and then maybe left arm over the left ear. Big side stretch. Nice stretch for the morning. All right, come to plank pose and either vinyasa or skip it. And send it back. Take a couple breaths. Next, inhale, look forward. As you exhale, we're going to step or hop to seated. So come to sit back behind the legs, bring the legs forward, work the core a little. So bring the hands underneath the knees. We're coming into Navasana, boat pose. So roll the shoulders back, lengthen the spine, and slowly begin to tip yourself back. Lift the feet up. You can just have the feet hover or lift them up so shins are parallel. You can hold on to the backs of the legs or extend the arms forward. Soften the shoulders and take 3 breaths here. Imagine like there's a string on your chest, pulling it up towards the ceiling. So try not to round in. And if you start to round in, come out of it a little bit. Last breath here. Good. Set the feet down, bring the hands behind you, fingertips face in, and then we'll roll up into a reverse table. Now, if the wrists bother you, you can spin the fingers out a little bit. So open the heart here, press evenly into the feet, lift the hips up, one more breath. And then we'll slowly set the hips back down, coming back into boat pose. Come on in, soften the shoulders, take a breath. And then maybe you hold here or maybe lower down into low boat. And then we'll lift back up into boat. So lots of options. We're going to do a few of these so you can keep moving up and down or just hold. Keep breathing. All right, if you're moving, we'll do 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Good. Feet down, hands behind you, press back into that reverse table. Open the heart, lift the hips up. Now place all the weight into the left foot, take the right ankle, cross it up and over the left thigh, flex the ankle, and then we'll drop the hips down, coming into our hip stretch. So if this is intense for you, you can come down to the forearms. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can scoot the left hip in towards that left heel and work here. So you're sort of in a pigeon thread the needle pose. So you want to be getting a stretch in that outside of the right hip. So we'll just pause here and breathe. Maybe close the eyes. Notice where you can relax the body. Where can you release some tension? 3 more breaths. All right, if you scooted in or came down on the forearms, come back up. Both feet on the ground. Last reverse table. So fingertips face forward, feet plant, lift on up. Open the shoulders, hips in line with the shoulders and the knees. And then we'll bring all the weight into the right foot. We'll cross the left ankle up and over that thigh. Drop the left knee down, flex those toes back, and then we'll gently set the right hip down. And again, you can come all the way down. You can even come down to back and take thread the needle, or you can scoot that right hip in closer to the right heel and make it a little bit more intense. And just notice how this side feels, maybe tighter, maybe looser than the first. But just go with it and breathe. Last 3 breaths here. Release that. And then we'll extend the legs out in front of us. So coming into Dandasana, staff pose. So extend the legs out, press the heels forward, pull the toes back, and bring the hands by the sides. Now, if it's hard for you to maintain length through the spine here, bend the knees or sit yourself up on something. Hips can come up on a blanket or a block. All right, inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, hinge forward and grab whatever you can. I'm gonna just hold on to the shins for now. Yeah, my hamstrings are a little tight this morning, so think more belly towards thighs rather than knee to nose. Soften the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, maybe you come in a little bit deeper. Take 3 deep breaths here. Notice if you're clenching anywhere. And then release this. We'll roll ourselves up, coming into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, soles of the feet together, knees fall wide, open the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, sit yourself up tall. If this is enough of the stretch, stay here. Otherwise, big inhale, and exhale, hinge forward, come down with a long spine. Take some breaths here. See if you can allow gravity to pull the legs down, maybe a little bit deeper. Relax the jaw. Release the muscles around the eyes. Smooth out the brow. Last breath. And slowly make your way back up. We're going to lower down onto our backs. So you can use the core a little bit more if you want, or just slowly make your way down. However, I'm going to use my belly muscles a little bit. So nice and slowly, come on down. And we're going to take one back bend here. I'm going to teach bridge. If wheels in your practice and you're feeling up to that right now, you can go ahead and take that. Walk the heels in so you can graze the backs of the heels with the fingertips. Arms come alongside the body. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press into the heels and lift the hips up. Again, coming into bridge or any other back bend you would like. You can interlace the fingers and roll up onto the tops of the shoulders. You can keep the hands by the sides or grab the sides of the sticky mat and pull the mat away from each other. But keep length through the neck. Inner thighs spin together. Imagine that you're squeezing a towel or a block between the thighs. Lift the hips up a little bit higher and take 3 more breaths. All 4 corners of both knees face forward to the front of the mat so knees are not splaying in or out. Last breath here. And then begin to release, lowering down nice and slowly. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Bring the arms out to a T. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, drop the knees to the left as you bump the hips a couple inches to the right. Gaze off over the right shoulder, and if you want more, you can cross the right knee on top of the left knee. Take some long, smooth breaths here. Slowly bring the knees back to center. We'll hug them in again, and then let the knees fall over to the right as you bump the hips a little bit to the left. Ground the left shoulder, and you can keep knee over knee, or you can cross them. So again, legs stacked, legs crossed, any other comfortable supine twist you would like. Chin and knees fall in opposite directions if that feels appropriate on the neck. Rounding the shoulders, deeply breathing. Come on back to center. Hug the legs in. You can stay here rocking side to side or find a happy baby, reaching inside the legs, grabbing onto the big toes, outer edges of the feet, ankles, shins, whatever. And then lengthen the spine. Lower back presses down. You can rock a little side to side. Sink the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Take one final breath here. And then make your way into your final resting pose. Extend the legs out, feet flap open, arms by the sides. If you've got blocks, I always encourage taking a supported Shavasana where you set the Shins or the ankles down just to take some pressure off the lower back. You can also roll up a blanket or a towel, place it underneath the knees, and take a big inhale once you get here. Big breath in through the nostrils, and then as you exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Feel the lips come to natural breath. Quiet minds, quiet bodies. Shavasana, the most important part of our practice. Rest. Take a slightly deeper breath. Bring some movement back into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. Reach the arms overhead, stretch the legs forward. Take a full body stretch. Hug the knees in. Roll yourself off to one side. Rest your head on your arm. Pause here and come back to your intention. Thank yourself for showing up today. And then using your top arm, press yourself up to any comfortable seated pose. Lengthening the spine, closing the eyes, and resting the palms together in front of the heart. Bring the awareness to the hands and see if you can notice the energy here as their fingertips and palms connect. Notice how you feel in your body. Lift the heart up, bow the head in. Thank you all so much for letting me share my practice. Namaste. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me this morning. We are going to start a yin class in about 1 minute, so I'm going to end this video and then we will get started immediately with a yin class. So again, thank you for joining me for Vinyasa, and I hope to see you back momentarily for our yin class today. Have a wonderful day.